Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Knit Chat. My name is Claudia, and I'm recording from Montreal, Canada. Recently, YouTube decided to launch their podcast app, and through YouTube Music, now we can listen to podcasts. So I've decided to go fully audio for this podcast. You can still watch it on my channel on regular YouTube, but there won't be any video attached to this podcast. So today I wanted to talk about Sweatha. If you are in the knitting community, you know about Sweatha. And it is fully on right now in Quebec. The leaves are turning orange and yellow and they are beautiful. The weather is cold. I personally dislike it. Yeah, I know. I'm a knitter and I dislike the cold. But still, what it does to me is that it makes me want to wear all my sweaters and it also makes me want to knit all the sweaters. So right now, I am knitting on a sweater. The pattern is called Primaire Pullover. It's by Camille Descoteaux. And unfortunately for all of you that are English speaking, it is not available right now for purchase for you because it is a pattern that is exclusive for a few months to my French knitting course for knitting a top-down sweater. I know, frustrating, but it will be available for you soon, and it's going to also have an English version. If you don't know about Camille, I will put the link down below in the description to go see her beautiful patterns. She has amazing patterns. The Primaire Pullover is a contiguous sleeve. How do we call it in English again? I know it's contiguous, but I feel like a saddle shoulder. Here you go. It's a saddle shoulder design. Very simple, meant to be knitted as a first-time sweater. So I'm knitting on this right now. And I'm using a lovely, amazing DK weight yarn from Espace Tricot, which is called Jolly DK. It is a non-superwash 2-ply with some Gotland and BFL, mostly BFL and a bit of Gotland that gives it a little, not marled, what's the word I'm looking for? It gives it a little depth because the Gotland is darker. If you haven't checked out Espace Tricot's new yarns, I want to knit them all. They are all amazing. They are so different, I feel, from other things that I've seen around. They feel really good and I cannot wait to be done with the sweater so I can actually wear it. So I'm saying it's the sweater episode because, to be honest, I had kind of a slow sweater mojo in the last few years. I knit, I believe, 18 sweaters in 2020. One of them was not for me, but and when I'm talking about sweaters, it includes tank tops or t-shirts, but still, I knit 18 garments for adult in 2020. So after that, I kind of had a little bit of a low point where I did not want to knit sweaters anymore. And I mean, I still did, but I was not as motivated. And that's when I actually picked up spinning because I felt like I had somehow reached a certain plateau with my knitting where I wasn't feeling like I was learning as much and I wasn't feeling like I was excited about knitting as much. That being said, I love knitting anyway. I'm still knitting every day, but knitting was not what made me, what's the word I'm looking for? It didn't allow me to turn off my brain and concentrate on something as much as spinning ended up giving me when I learned how to do it. So in the last few years, I've knitted some sweaters. Don't get me wrong, I did, and I really enjoyed the sweaters that I've gotten out of it. But I wasn't as inspired, motivated. I wasn't craving the sweaters, let's say. But right now, I open my drawers and I see my sweaters, and some of them are my classics, my go-to, the ones I want to wear all the time. Some of them I don't wear that much, and I'm actually wondering which ones I might want to get rid of somehow, give away, maybe sell. give to a shelter. I don't know. I'm not really 100% sure of what I want to do with them, but some of them I'm not reaching for as much as I wish I was. And to be honest, that is not sad to me. Like some people find it very sad that I would want to give away sweaters that I put so much effort and time and money into. But I feel like I'm not only a product knitter, right? I'm also a process knitter, and I really appreciate the time that I take knitting the fibers, feeling the fibers between my hands. I enjoy the process of creating. So by the end of it, yes, I have a finished garment that I can really enjoy wearing, but if I don't enjoy wearing it, it doesn't really matter that much. It's something that I spent many beautiful hours making, and someone else will get to enjoy wearing, hopefully. So yeah, all that to say that there are quite a few sweaters in my drawers right now that I don't really reach for. And there are a lot of sweaters that, sweater patterns that I really want to knit. So I can see space in my wardrobe for new sweaters. And that's why my mojo is returning full force, I think. So right now, like I said, I'm knitting just a top-down sweater with saddle shoulders, and it's in a beautiful, like, coral kind of grapefruit color. And when I'm saying grapefruit, I mean pink grapefruit, my favorite. And I have also casted on the Traveler by Andrea Maury, which is a hoodie style sweater that's knit in some, it's not a garter stitch, it's more like a striped pattern, but that has, instead of striping in color, it's striping with texture. So even if you're knitting in the round, you're knitting some knit rows and some purl rows. I really adore that sweater. That one is a oversized bottom up with a big weird hoodie. And I think it's going to become like a sweatshirt type knit for me. I bought a lot of roving, pencil roving from Akara Yarns. If you don't know her, go look her up. She's Canadian, and she did the switch to selling only fiber. So no more yarn. She's actually only selling fiber that she sources herself or hand dyes. So I had bought like a big bag of pencil roving in a light brown grayish color, so a very natural color, and I thought I was gonna spin it thicker in order to make a bigger sweater, like probably a turtleneck in that neutral color. But when I saw Andrea Maury's sweater, the Traveler, I decided that's what I wanted to make with it. So I'm making a 2-ply, a little bit smaller because it's meant for a sport weight gauge. And because I'm me and I kind of, as I was spinning the fiber, it feels so smushy, so squishy, so soft, but the color is a little bit drab. Is it drab in English? In French, drab means like it's missing some pop, it's missing some funk for me. And so I bought the Make It Tweed from Rico Designs. Make It Tweed is a 100% synthetic fiber, which if you've been following me on any of my social media, you kind of know that I don't work a lot with synthetic fibers. I really, really love a natural, untreated, raw wool. But the Make It Tweed is so pretty. It's this really, really thin cobweb thread that has little bumps of colors, little tweed, basically, tweed neps spun through the thread. I'm saying tweed, obviously it's not tweed as in the material. The material is synthetic, but it gives a tweed effect when you hold it double with another yarn. So I did a swatch holding it with my gray brown yarn. I liked it, but I felt like it was missing something. It was the tweed was a little bit too prominent. Is that the word? Maybe it was a little bit too much there, and I wanted to kind of bury it a little bit more into the yarn because my yarn was quite thin. I was also getting a gauge that I wasn't loving as much, so I ended up adding a pale blue mohair. So I'm holding triple the gray brown yarn with a pale blue mohair and the make it tweed. So it's gonna be so cozy, so fun, yet at the same time with a neutral. I'm literally like, I can't wait. I can't wait to be wearing it. At the same time, I'm not knitting on it right now much because I'm knitting on my other sweater that I have to finish because I'm teaching a course based on that sweater. You know what I mean? So that's on my needles as well. And I also have to finish spinning the yarn. The reason why it's not going to be done anytime soon is because I'm spinning the yarn kind of as I go, which I know is not ideal. Everyone that I watch that or listen to that spins are saying, when you spin for a big project like a sweater, you want to spin, the entirety of your singles, and then you want to kind of ply your singles. Let's say you have, I don't know, 6 bobbins. You would want to apply the first bobbin with a 6th one, the second with the 5th, and then the third with the 4th, just to kind of keep a consistency. I'm not doing that. I have a little swatch of my not a swatch, but a little length of my yarn next to my wheel, and I'm trying to keep consistent. But I think that with the addition of the mohair within the yarn, it's gonna kind of even out the inconsistencies, I believe. So I have 2 skeins skeins, obviously I fill up my bobbin with the 2-ply, and then I, wind it into a hank, and then I put it in the bath, let it soak, put it back into a hank, and then I'm ready to use it after that. So right now I'm still working on the first hank that I spun, and then I have another one waiting for me. And then once that's done, I'll have to make some more. And I haven't been spinning much because I'm so motivated by my knitting right now that I'm just not spinning that much. My wheel is next to my bed. I will once in a while spin a little bit more. So I'm spinning some singles right now for that sweater. And yeah. Just something I'm doing on the side. I don't know when it's going to be done. And then one thing that I absolutely want to do is get a few more cardigans in my drawers. I'm saying cardigans with an S. To be fair, I have many more pullovers in my list, my to-do list at this moment. I don't know why I'm such a pullover person. Like, I love wearing pullovers. Maybe because most pullovers come higher on the neck, and I like being warm, and I like being warm, and I like wearing high t-shirts that have like a crew neck, or tank tops that have a crew neck. So I like having stuff closer to my neck. And then when I see cardigans, they have a V-neck, or they're a little bit lower, or they're not closed, and I don't know how to wear those with what I have in my wardrobe. Maybe you can help me out. I guess I see some people wearing very cute little like thin turtlenecks with a V-neck cardigan, but I don't own any of those. Should I just buy a few turtlenecks to see if I would like that? Because if I were to wear a turtleneck, then my neck would be covered, and then maybe the cardigan would seem like a good option. I also like how you can dress up a cardigan versus a sweater. But yeah, I'm always just drawn to the pullovers. That being said, I do have in stash one I have enough yarn to make one cardigan, and that one is locked. It's like set in stone. That's what I'm making because when I went to Knit City, Montreal, I tried on the sample. It was at Espace Tricot's booth, and it was the Neons and Neutrals by La Bien-Aimée that was there, and she had all her samples, and so I tried on a bunch of them, and I fell in love with the Brienne cardigan. It's by Brienne Moody, and it is a 2-color open cardigan, which is interesting. It has pockets. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to knit, that's for sure, because it's kind of knit sideways. And I had a leftover skein of Corey worsted, which is La Bien-Aimée yarn, La Bien-Aimée yarn, in a very loosely spun, non-superwash, beautiful yarn. And I had this in like I think it was called Lise, the color, and it's a very intense raspberry. I had one skein left, so I knew that I wanted to use it for something. And my size for the Brienne uses one skein of the accent color and 3 skeins of a main color. So I bought a main color that is a neutral, that is another kind of grayish type color. And yeah, I'm going to use the raspberry as the accent color, and I think it's going to be really fun. So that's one that's going to be in my cardigan collection. I really only I have one that I never wear because I don't like the fit on me. I have one that I wear often, but that's a fingering weight, like sock yarn, cropped lace paneled, like it's all the body is in a lace. It's called the honeybee cardigan, I believe. I knit it a long time ago and I still wear it all the time. It's like lemon yellow. I absolutely adore it, but it is not a big cardigan for like the winter. It is a little cardigan to put over top of things. It has 3/4 sleeves. Love it. And it has a crew neck. So, it fits with what I was saying. I always wear it buttoned up. I also have the throwback cardigan by Andrea Maury, which is also a high crew neck. I knit that one in Nutiden held double, which is amazing. And that one I also wear quite a bit, but I also always wear it closed. So I see kind of a pattern there where I like my cardigans to be closed. So now I'm going to be making a cardigan that's fully open, no button band, no buttons. I guess we'll see what happens with that, but I'm very excited to make it and to see how much I'll wear it. Yeah, well, I went to a yarn show a few weeks ago where I was teaching some classes, and obviously I had to buy some yarn. I didn't buy much. I was very, very nice, but Urso Yarn Co., which is a very great Québécois dyer, like she's one of my favorite Québécois dyer, has this base called La Petite Polaire, which is a sport weight to DK weight, but I'm gonna knit it at a sport weight gauge, non-super wash. Is it a Dorset or, oh my God, I don't remember anymore. But it is super squishy, super nice. And since I had purchased the Neons and Neutrals book that same weekend in order to make the Brienne cardigan, I bought the yarn in order to make the Darta pullover, which is a beautiful oversized drop shoulder pullover with fringes in the front. They're not fringes, little frou-frou. Anyway, you know what I mean. Little ruffles. That's the word I'm looking for. Ruffles down the front in a either Surrey alpaca or mohair. I haven't found the Surrey alpaca or mohair that I'm gonna be using for those ruffles yet, but I'm sure I'm gonna find something interesting. And again, that sweater is one that I tried at Knit City Montreal and fell in love with. So I'm really happy I'm gonna be knitting that one as well because I now have the yarn for it. Normally, I think in the book, it is two lace weight yarns held together, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm gonna be using just the sport weight yarn because it's a non-treated. It's gonna fill up the space. I don't need the mohair in it. And it's weird because like I'm always attracted to all the sweaters with mohair in it, and I rarely end up making them with mohair in it, even though I love it. I think maybe it's the all the yarns that I find that I love for the the base yarn are just so pretty that I don't need to add mohair to it to make them amazing. Yeah, I don't know, because the sweaters that I own that have mohair held double with something else, I absolutely reach for them all the time. I have an Aros pullover. I don't know how to say it in English, but by Petite Knit, which has mohair. I have the September sweater that's a Nutiden and mohair. Now I just finished the Ridari, which is also an Icelandic design from Istex, which I used Nutiden for, held double with mohair. And I also have the Rosier from Paul TB that has mohair in it. So all those sweaters that have mohair, I do reach for them because I love the texture. And I always think I should make more sweaters with mohair. And then I buy yarn that really is truly amazing on their own without the mohair in it. So I'm like, why would I spend that much more money to double it with mohair when it already has a little bit of a floof because of just the nature of that yarn. So that's what's going to happen. And all those sweaters that I've talked about are going to be linked in the description. So if you want to go check them out, you can. Another one that just popped on my to-do list, because stripes. Stripes will always get me. Always. Vera Valimaki came out with a striped sweater that's called the Caramelli sweater. It is gorgeous. It is a drop shoulder, but it has this like very fun detail in the back where the stripes kind of meet. And I'm making it absolutely with Crux Fiber unspun, Canadian unspun. I just ordered a plate of a green color to go with the ones that I already have at home. It's gonna be so pretty and so light and airy. That's what I love about all the non-treated wools. They're just so light to wear, but warm for your body. I just absolutely love it. I'm going to be making that striped sweater 100% for sure. You can never have too many striped sweater. That's my take. That if you don't agree with me, you can leave because I'm not going to change my mind. Striped sweaters are so fun. So fun. That being said, today I was watching another podcast, and there's something else that popped into on my screen that I went, oh my God, I need one of those. Cardigan. Well, it's kind of a jacket cardigan from Skandir Knits. It's called the Selbu jacket. Oh my God, guys. It is so pretty. It is a full-on color work Selbu jacket, and I'm in love. Problem is I don't have the yarn for it. So it probably won't get done, to be honest, this season, because I have already so much yarn for so many sweaters that I just can't even, I can't think about buying more sweater quantities right now. But it's just so pretty. It's going to go right into my wish list of eventually I will make this garment. Yeah, sweaters. I have sweaters on my mind, even though I also have 2 hats on my needles at this moment. I'm knitting in adult. I don't ever have too many hats in my house, so I always kind of cast on a hat when I'm in between projects, or when I have this one skein of yarn that I don't know what to do with. A hat is always a good idea. And I also have a teeny little tiny hat that hopefully it has to be done by Saturday, because it's for a newborn baby in my family. My cousin is having a baby in January, so it's going to be perfect for a tiny little newborn hat. So that shouldn't take very long. Hats and sweaters, that's just where I'm at this point. I knitted so many socks for a project in this summer that I'm like completely done for knitting socks for a while. So the natural, place to go are sweaters and hats. And that's it. That's what I'm up to these days. Very busy. And I've decided also to not participate in the knit along this year, the mcal, Stephen West mcal. I chose to not participate for very wise reasons, being one, I don't have the time to knit that shawl because I know it's going to be a humongous shawl, as every time it is. And two, I just don't have the yarn. If I don't have the yarn to knit the mcal, to be honest, I've always, since the beginning, decided to only knit the West Knit Make Along, only knit the West Knit Mystery Knit Along, that's what I meant, if I could find the required yarn in my stash. Because for me, it's a project that I never kind of account for. It's kind of an extra project. It's just for fun, and I never know if I'm actually gonna wear the finished project. So to me, it's something that I'm not willing to spend the money on. Usually, it's like 4 or 5 skeins of fingering weight yarn, and I'm just. Yeah, it's a way for me to clear my stash. If I have it on stash, I'll make the project. If I don't have it in stash, I won't make the project. So this year I didn't have it in stash and I didn't have time, so I decided to not do it. But I'm enjoying seeing everybody's versions so much. I really think this one is super pretty, and I could have absolutely loved it to wear. Like it seems to me a much more wearable mystery knit along this year. It's not done yet, so maybe the last clue is gonna be like, maybe, did I see the last clue? I didn't see the last clue. Maybe the last clue is gonna be completely and utterly like extravagant, and I'm gonna say, oh no, that's not what I wanted to do. But up till now, I think it's really cute. So yeah, it's been a lovely almost half an hour. So I'm gonna let you go about your day and do other things. I hope you enjoyed the talk, and I was able to knit quite a few rows on my sweater while I was talking to you, which is very nice. I shall see you very soon, and keep on knitting. Bye.